Bombing run ready, Major. For the Luftwaffe. Meow.
Hi guys, I'm Wayne, I'm from Xbox again. We're here at Wyldstorm this time in Yarmouth to play some Halo Fleet Battles. I'm joined by Jmac.
Hello again.
We're going to play 1,000 points just using the starter box. We'll see the armies, we'll see the board, and then we'll get started. Okay guys, so here's the starter fleets from the Fall of Reach box. I'm playing the UNSC. So I have a Cyclops formation that's made up of a supported Marathon and 3 Trident formations. I then have a Epoch carrier with an Arrowhead formation. This is one of my standard battle groups. It's 2 Marathons and 2 Arrowhead formations. And then I have another one here with a supported Marathon and 2 more Arrowheads. And I have Michael Stanforth as my commander, and I do have 1 Spartan. So then Jmac is playing the Covenant.
Okay, so we've got a supported CCS with 2 line formations of corvettes. We've got the big ORS unsupported, and that has 2 oblique formations of corvettes. And then we have another CCS supported with 2 line formations. And my Supreme Commander is Ro Baratani, and I've taken 4 Zealots with him.
Okay, so that is the fleets, guys. We'll set up the board.
Okay, so we're just going to go for a quick explanation of the firepower system in Halo. This basically dictates weapon bonuses. A lot of the terrain bonuses operate through this, and effectively all it affects is how much your dice explode and whether they explode or not. So by default you'll be on firepower rating 4. So what that means is every €2, which is effectively the equivalent of a 6, will allow you to reroll one of the, I believe they're called misses, but they look like a no entry sign. And obviously your 2s count as 2 successes and your 1s count as 1s. Now if you manage to get up to firepower rating 5, for example UNSC can do this with long range missiles, and the Covenant can do this when they get in close range of their plasma weapons. You may re-roll the skull icons as well as the misses, so that gives you a bit more chance to do a little bit more damage there, especially if you roll a lot of the 2s. Now obviously you can take debuffs as well. This means that, for example, the Covenant at long range, if UNSC are firing at something that's cloaked, those sort of debuffs can knock you down to firepower 3. Effectively what that means is no re-rolls are permitted, but your successes still count as the amount of successes depicted on the dice. 2s are 2s, 1s are 1s. If you get knocked all the way down to firepower 2, this can happen a lot if you're firing through terrain, if you're firing against ships that have a lot of debuffs active. For example, corvettes will have elusive and cloaking stack, so they'll take you -2. Then any 2s or 1s you roll count as 1 success. So you have to weigh up the actual probability in this case. If you have, say, 8 dice and you're trying to damage a ship with 9 armor, then only getting a maximum of 1 success per dice means it's statistically impossible to actually damage it. And then if you get knocked all the way down to firepower rating 1, you can't roll any dice at all, because there's simply no chance of your firepower actually doing any damage at all. So we'll be referencing this throughout the video. This is just a quick recap because it's quite core to how Halo handles the different bonuses and weaknesses of the factions, and obviously it'd be a bit confusing if we didn't have this mentioned at the start of the video. So we'll be explaining other features of the game as we play them, but for now that's just a quick recap of this core feature.
Okay guys, so we're all set up and deployed. So the UNSC first. So we have the carrier on the flank here, he's got the Spartans, he's got a Sabre and 4 bombers. Then we have the small battle group, and then the bigger battle group. All the cruisers are carrying Sabres, except in the Cyclops, he's got 5 bombers. And then my order dice for the turn, I got 3 shields and 2 lightning bolts. And then we have the Covenant, they've got this battle group over here, the big ship in the middle, and then this battle group covering the other flank. And he got 3 lightning bolts, a shield, and the like order one, isn't it? It's like the command icon. The command icon. There we go. Okay, so the Covenant do have first turn, so we'll jump straight in. Okay, so the Covenant are activating first. We're going to skip the wings phase this turn because we both very much decided we don't want to move any. So Gemma's going to activate this battle group first.
Okay, so the corvettes are going to turn, move, and turn again because they're small ships. They can do that. Turn, and turn again. The CCS, being a medium ship, can only turn and then move. On coherency. So I don't think we've got a decent firing solution. We're out of range of most weapons, so that's the end of that activation.
Okay. Okay, so these guys are going to activate. They're just going to move up. So the carrier is going to move up 6, and then turn. And the frigate he's just going to move up 5 and turn. And then they're going to fire their missile batteries at that corvette. So the carrier's out of range, but the frigate's not. Okay, so these frigates are going to fire their missiles at these corvettes. So it's just 2 dice. So I only got 1 hit. That's not enough to beat his damage track. So that did nothing.
Which is a damage track of 4. So the ORS is going to move up next. That's going to move and then turn because it's a large element. Just double check the range. So that has a shot on the epoch with its plasma lance.
Yep.
Then the corvettes are going to move up. Double check coherency, so that's good there. And then that one's going to hop up there. And they're going to, I don't think they're just about range, I think, with plasma torpedoes.
They're just in range.
Alright.
Directly on the cross. So in this game, that centre mark there is where you measure range from on both bases. Just so you guys know.
So I'll start with the big gun first. So that would be 14 dice.
Okay.
Do you want to use your brace action to reduce the amount of successes?
Yep. I'm going to use one of my brace actions, which minuses 2 successes.
Okay, so Covenant long range means I'm firepower 3, so I don't get any rerolls. And at, that's 7 successes. I'm going to use 2 of my lightning bolt icons for the focused attack roll, so that I can reroll 2 attack dice per icon. So that's 4 dice. I'll reroll these skulls. And that's on another 2 successes, just a total of 9.
But minus 2 from the brace brings it down to 7.
Not enough to damage the epoch.
Yep, so the damage in this game, the numbers at the top there, the 10 is currently my damage track, so he has to get 10 successes to do 1 point of damage to it.
After defensive moves.
Yes. Okay.
Next up, the 2 oblique formations with the ORS are going to target the arrowheads with their plasma torpedoes.
Okay.
So, these guys, they get +1 firepower for missiles at long range and -1 for plasma long range. So, at firepower 4, that means I do get rerolls on 2s. So, it's 5 successes, that seems good enough. So you get your titanium armor and point defense against missiles.
Yep, so titanium armor. So that stops 2 successes.
So,
and then my point defense, because they're missiles, stops 1 more.
Enough to save it.
Okay. Okay, so this battle group here is going to move up. They're actually going to hard burn. So the frigates are going to move up 12. And the cruiser moves up 10. So there.
Aggressive.
We're then going to fire our Mac cannons at this guy. So the cruiser, because he's shooting at a smaller target and it's got stealth systems, loses 2 firepower, so it's down to firepower 2, so all successes count as 1s.
Try to get a better angle because can't quite see the dice.
So these 2s become 1s. So that is 6. I'm going to spend my focused attack dice to reroll 2 of them dice. So that is now 8. And then I have my frigates, who are only at -1 for stealth systems. So that is another 5. So that was quite good.
And the Mac special roll?
Yep, so they are Mac 4 in total. So what Mac does is I roll one of these dice, and it's on a 2 or a skull, isn't it, for Mac 4?
Yep, just a 2 for Mac 2 to 3, and if you get Mac 6 up, it automatically goes off.
Yep, and then you get a vulnerability token, which makes you easier to hurt. Which I do.
Oh, typical.
You're right.
So, my Covenant Corvettes have got a damage track of 4, 3, and 3. As Wayne has rolled 13 dice, he's done enough to completely kill that, and then some. On top of that, vulnerability markers reduce the effective health of each track by 1, so that actually counts as 3, 2, and 2. It also reduces the number of successes from defensive dice by 1. So these are pretty much guaranteed to die, but I'll roll the dice anyway. -1 success for vulnerability means that my shields do absolutely nothing and they are blasted away by the Mac guns.
So as it died, the bomber group that he had on there gets ejected into space. Okay, so that was their Mac, and they're going to fire their missiles at him, this one, because they have a rule where they can either fire their missiles out of each side at different targets or at the closest target out the front. Okay, so the missiles into that nearest guy. So this is off the supported marathon.
-2?
No, just -1 because it's long range. It didn't really matter, I only got... Oh no, I did get a 2. So that 2 actually counts as a 2 this time. But I'm going to spend one of these again to reroll my 2 misses. Which gives me another success. And then the frigates are shooting, so they're just at firepower 4. So 2s let me re-roll, but I didn't get any. So in total, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 successes. So against this he gets defense raise and point defense.
Okay, so we'll start with point defense as the missiles. So not bad actually, that's 4 successes on that.
So I'm down to 6, so I can't kill it anymore.
And then defense arrays, which are the shields and such. Let's see, so how much damage is that doing? 2...
It's not enough to go through 2 layers, it's
6.
just for 1.
Okay, so as it doesn't... Because in order to do 2 layers of damage, you'd have to get 4 plus 3 for 7. 6 doesn't quite cut it, so I'm just going to let that damage go through.
So it just gets 1 point of damage.
Okay, and Wayne gets to roll for critical to see if he inflicts vulnerability on it.
Yep, so on a 2, I get a vulnerable token on it. Nope. Okay, so these guys are going to activate.
Right, so CCS turning, then moving up. And then the Corvettes following suit. Oops. And the other Corvettes. And it turns slightly afterwards. Okay, and the CCS is going to fire its plasma lance at that marathon.
Okay, he's going to brace using one of these.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to use both because this is your last shooting attack.
Okay. So, I don't get any rerolls, but 2s still count as 2s because I'm at 1 damage. And minus, ooh, that's not be very great at -4 successes.
So that is just going to be 3 damage, which...
I'm going to spend one of my attack icons on my order dice to reroll 2. Which gives me 8, -4 from brace, 4 isn't enough damage. Yep. But 4 isn't enough to do damage to the
He needs 7.
Right, well. Let's see. We've also got plasma cannon arrays, which are going to target the corvettes there.
Yep.
Sorry, the frigates, which in the line formation get 3 dice each. So on these nearest ones, ooh, that's very good.
Ooh, very nice.
And they get rerolls because of the firepower of 4. So that's 6 successes on these guys. So you get point defense and titanium armor.
Okay, sorry, he wouldn't have got rerolls, but it didn't make a difference at all. So I just get 2 titanium armor dice, which only stops 1.
So at 5 damage, it's not enough to go through 2 layers of armor, but it does go through 1.
Yep.
Does it critical? Yes, it does.
Yes. So he gets a point of
vulnerable
damage. Okay, so titanium armor, now that I have a point of damage on this ship, I no longer get that rule. However, if I was using the other commander from the expansion pack, Lord Hood, when if he repairs the ship, it actually comes back as well, thanks to the new FAQ. Okay, so these guys are shooting their torpedoes.
Yeah, which are missile weapons, so they will get rerolls on 2s, but also he will get point defense.
Yep.
So first the corvette squadrons, which generate 3 with 1 reroll, which doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And then the cruiser, which is at -1 firepower because of the elusive rule. Because they're small ships which are hard to hit. But
He's still got 4.
okay, so that is 7.
Okay.
Now you get 2 dice of point defense, -1 success for vulnerable.
Yep. So I actually can't stop this because
rolled...
my damage track is 2 and 2 now.
Yeah. So,
but I'll roll it anyway. Because
yep. So -1 success.
These
boom.
guys are dead. Okay, so I'm going to activate this battle group now. They're going to hard burn. So the frigates move 12. And then the cruisers are moving 10. Onto there. They're going to pummel all their firepower into this poor corvette squad. Okay, so these guys, the frigates, are going to fire their Mac guns at the corvettes, and then the cruisers are going to fire them at the big ship, and then everyone's going to fire their missiles at this guy. Okay, so we'll start with the frigate's Mac. So that's not bad. They get
no, because of cloaking. So that is
7 successes.
7 damage, and at Mac rating 2, do they do?
Nope. So no vulnerable token.
So with 7 successes, I get 2 defense array dice.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Okay, so that is 7 damage, which isn't enough to do 2 layers of damage, but just 1. Roll for critical?
Yep. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so the cruisers Mac at the big ship.
Okay, so that's a lot of dice.
Pretty bad. So that's 5, 6, 7. So the 2 allows me to re-roll one of the misses.
Yep, because we've not got no cloaking on the CCS.
Which didn't do anything.
Nope, because the supported needs 8. Only got 7.
It's Mac 4. Oh no, it's not, because I didn't do enough damage to get the Mac hit.
Nope.
That's alright. Okay, so missiles from this battle group all into the wounded frigate there because it's the closest. So the frigate's missiles first. Now they get to re-roll.
Yep, because they ignore the elusive rule.
Yep. And they're long range with their missiles.
Which counteracts cloaking.
It's 4. And then the cruisers are no re-rolls, but 2s do count as 2s.
Yep.
So wow, that was really good.
Too good. I don't think I'm going to save this one. Okay.
So it's 10, 16.
Only needing 7 successes, and I get a grand total of 2 defense array dice, which saves 1, and 3-point defense dice. Oop, scared over us, which saves 1.
So that is
1.
still 14. So that is
14 damage. Goodbye.
Okay, so the Cyclops formation, they're going to hard burn. So the frigates move straight up to here. And then the cruiser moves up to there. Now, nebulas, they let you pass through them normally, but you're at -1 firepower to shoot. So I'm not going to shoot because of stealth systems and everything else, and we're not really in range.
Plus terrain stacks, so for example this -1 from the nebula gas cloud also stacks to the -2 from the asteroid field, making this CCS a pretty hard target to hit.
Yeah. So that is end of turn 1. It's pretty close, to be fair.
Okay, so here's the casualties. Not really going in my favour right now. As far as working out victory points, you work it out based on the build rating of each formation killed. So Wayne has gained 2 victory points, 1 for each of these corvette squadrons, and I have gained 1 for killing a Paris frigate formation. On top of that, we also have potential victory points for sector control. We've decided that each half of the board counts as a sector. Now, if Wayne had managed to get rid of my squadrons here, he'd own this half of the board and also gain sector control there, another victory point. We also have 2 flagships, Wayne's Epoch Heavy Carrier and my ORS Heavy Cruiser. If these go down, they gain an additional 3 victory points. Plus there's the likes of Spartans and Zealots, which give away 3 extra victory points, and we'll go through them if and when they die. Okay, so Wings phase is over. So we'll just summarise it. We've got fighters escorting the CCS here and the ORS. So if Wayne tries to go on a bombing run against them, the fighters will intercept. We've both sent bombers up into the middle. Wayne's managed to intercept a few of mine with his sabres. And he's got another sabre moving up, another one engaging my fighters. Stack of bombers moving up behind there. And I think that's about it, isn't it, for the Wings phase?
Yep, pretty much.
So, on to the element phase. Wayne has initiative.
Okay, so I'm going to activate this small squad. They're going to hard burn. Onto there. And these guys are just going to go to there. So we're going to fire all the missiles into him, and then the Mac guns into the big ship. Okay, so this goes missiles first into the wounded corvettes. He's at firepower 3. That's not bad. So, no rerolls. I'm not going to spend my order dice. And then from the frigate at firepower 4, they get nothing.
Okay, so I get 3 dice of point defense. So that's 1.
So it goes down to 4, so still a damage.
And I get defense rates on top of that.
Oh yes, you do.
So I'm the Covenant. 2s, which explode. 3. So I knock that down to 1 actual damage, which isn't enough.
Okay. Okay, so the frigates first into the big ship.
The ORS.
So they're firepower 3 with their Mac gun.
Because they're just outside of short range, so cloaking still takes effect.
3 successes. And then the cruiser. He's at firepower 4, so that's 6. I'm going to spend my order dice to re-roll 2 successes. So that's 2 more. So that is 11.
11, which is enough to inflict damage, so you get to roll Mac dice.
Yep, so we're Mac 3, so it's just on a 2. Nope.
Nope. Okay, I get 4 defense arrays. And yeah, that's quite comfortably stopped that. So it's only 7 successful hits, not enough damage.
Yep. Okay, so the boarders from this ship are going to board that corvette.
Okay, they get 3-point defense dice. So that is 1, 2 successes. The pelicans here have got a damage track of 4, so that's not enough to kill one.
Okay, and they resolve at the end of turn.
Yep, so we'll resolve them in the end phase after vulnerable markers and such.
Okay.
So these guys are going to use the glide special rule that Covenant get. Move half their speed laterally, not that guy around, left or right. They can't turn, but it's quite handy for avoiding moving up and getting some nice short range shots against UNSC cruisers. Okay, so we're in short range for the plasma lance, so that will target the cruiser back there.
Yep.
We'll also target the plasma torpedoes from these two at the Arrowhead Squadron. This formation's just out of arc, so it can't target them. And then the plasma cannons will target the distant cruiser there. So we'll start with the plasma lance.
Okay, I'm going to brace using one of these.
Okay, so 12 dice at firepower rating of 5 because we're in short range. Oh, not very good. Okay, so I only got 5 successes, -2 from the brace action, and I have no order dice that allow me to re-roll. So that was pretty disappointing.
Okay.
So we'll do plasma torpedoes against these guys.
Yep.
Now they've got a 12-inch short range. So we're in short range with the corvettes, but not the cruiser.
Okay.
So the corvettes, firepower 5, get 2 successes, and the cruiser is at firepower 2 because it's an elusive target and it's at long range. No, sorry.
Firepower 3 because you
firepower
get plus
3
1 for missiles.
Keep forgetting that. So 2s do still count as 2s. So that is 6 successful points of damage.
Okay, so he has 2 titanium armor.
Yep, and 2 point
nothing.
defense.
And point defense. Stops 1.
So that does 5 damage, which is enough to go through 1 layer of armor at least.
Okay.
Critical. Yep, so he's vulnerable as well.
Okay.
Okay, so then final guns. We're going to fire the plasma cannons and try to finish what the plasma lance failed to start.
I'm going to brace
Again.
because I like my ships.
So 10 dice from this at firepower 3 because it's long range. Much better than last time round. That is 7. We don't get any rerolls because of long range. And then the corvettes, much better. So we got a total of -2 for brace, 11 damage.
Okay.
So when you get titanium armor,
So they get 4 dice, which stopped 4.
and you get the exploding dice
Yep.
from 2. So that leaves 7 damage, which is still just enough
to get
to actually get through the armor
Right.
with no vulnerable.
Okay. Okay, so these guys are going to go. The Epoch's going to hard burn. Up 8. To there. And the frigates are going to move half distance so they don't take any damage from the debris field.
So the Epochs and the Arrowhead formation, we're going to fire the missile barrage, but they have to target the closest element, which is these guys here, hiding behind the space station, which blocks line of sight. The Arrowhead also can't fire its Jmac guns because the debris field knocks its firepower rating down by 3. So against a corvette with cloaking systems, it's just not going to get any luck. So the Epoch is the only thing firing from this formation. It's going to fire its light Jmac at the corvettes here. -2 because of cloaking and elusive.
Yep, so all successes count as 1.
So that's
Still pretty
still
good,
pretty decent dice.
So these all become 1s.
Got one there. So how many is that?
So 2, 4, 6, 8.
Okay. Okay, so with 8 successes, I get 2 dice of defense arrays on the corvettes there. So I stopped 1, which would still leave it dead. So I'm going to spend 1 of my defense array dice to reroll 1 defense array and hope I get lucky. I don't. Those corvettes are dead. No, they're the ones with your boarding craft on board.
Yep.
So we'll resolve and see whether those guys make out alive at the end of the turn. But the corvettes are very much dead. Right, so the CCS is going to turn 45 and move up 7 to try and deal with these. And then the corvettes escorting it. Yep, they're still within coherency. Can move up there. So we're going to open up with the plasma lance and hope it does better than the other one. That's 12 dice at short range. Do you want to brace one?
I will be bracing.
Okay. Just once?
Yeah, just once.
Okay. So 12 dice, minus 2 successes from the brace action. That is not too bad actually. 6, 10 so far. And I get to reroll any dice, including skulls.
Yep.
Because I'm at firepower rating 5.
Nice.
And then, so that is 8 minus 2, 12 successes against this marathon cruiser here.
Yep.
So you get titanium armor.
So I get 3 dice. Which
No
does nothing.
successes. So 12 dice enough to go through 2 layers of armor.
Okay.
And no critical.
Okay. So he's just took 2 points of damage.
So next they're going to fire plasma torpedoes at the closest arrowhead formation.
Okay.
So the line formation puts 4 dice in, firepower rating of 4, because elusive craft ignore elusive. So that 2 allows me to roll this, no effect. And the CCS, because it's an elusive target, is at minus 1 firepower. So 2 still count as 2s, but they don't get rerolls.
That's a pretty solid hit.
Yep, so 5, 7, 9 damage against those arrowheads. And you get point defense,
So 2 point defense.
which knocks it down by 1.
It's enough to save it at least. And then the 2 titanium armor.
Okay, so you take 3, 6, 8 damage. Just falls short of killing you.
2 points of damage.
Critical? No critical.
Okay. Okay.
And finally, the plasma cannons are going to target this marathon here
I'm going to brace.
with your last brace dice.
Yep.
So, I can roll these all in one pool because they're all at long range and there's no debuffs taking effect. So, I don't get any rerolls, but I'm pretty happy with that. 4. See, so that's 10 successes minus 2 from brace. I can't reroll any of these, so that's 8.
Okay,
And
so
you're on titanium armor.
3 dice.
You
I stop 4,
and you get to reroll that as well.
but it's enough to stop it.
6. Okay. So that one had particularly good hull plating.
Yeah. So this guy is going to live.
Right, and that is the end of my activation for these guys.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to activate these guys before they die. They're going to hard burn right up in your face.
Oh, fantastic.
To there. And they're going to fire everything at this guy. Because he's
Okay.
not quite an arc.
Are you going to board anything?
That's end of turn.
Alright, okay, that is.
Well, end of their activation.
Bombing run ready, Major. For the Luftwaffe. Meow.
Okay, so these guys are going to fire everything at this guy.
My poor CCS.
Because of the wounds, I'm having to roll these 2 ships' dice separately. So we'll roll the healthy ones first with the Mac. So they get some re-rolls. So it's 3-2, so 3 re-rolls. Pretty solid.
Oh boy.
then the wounded cruiser. So what that does is the 2 damage minus his 2 successes.
So it contributes. It contributes so much to the cause.
And then the same with the frigates. So he gives nothing.
In their defense, most of the crew is dead right now. So, that's still very painful.
That is 14.
Okay, so that'll not quite punch through 2 layers. It'll go through the first one. My CCSs get...
But it's an automatic vulnerable token as well, so it
actually
will.
Oh god, yes. So, because of the total MAC rating is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it inflicts an automatic vulnerable. So that is now effectively 7, 6, 3. So 14 could do it. I get 5-point defense dice. I knock it down by 4 with rerolls. So -1 for the vulnerable. I've taken 5 damage off the pool, which leaves us with
8. So still a
8.
damage.
That's still enough to go through the first layer. Do I reroll? I think I'll spend one of my order dice to have a go at rerolling it, and I might get very cheeky and save it. So I'll reroll that one. 1. So 7.
Still enough.
With vulnerable, that's still enough. Okay then.
So, do I get another vulnerable from a crit? Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, fantastic. Okay,
So missiles first, the healthy ones. Pretty decent. So 3 rerolls. With another reroll. Wow, that was pretty good. So there's 12 already.
Oh, yay.
The wounded frigates, so these are at -2. So they actually do contribute 1.
Oh, wow.
And the wounded cruiser, so he gets a reroll. So he contributes 2 as well.
Okay, so what is that in total?
So that is 15.
Right, I do get both point defense and defense arrays, which looking at the card is 5 plus 4. So that's
But you have to roll separately because you're at -2 successes from both.
Yep. So 5 dice of point defense. I get 1 reroll because the exploding dice.
Stop 1.
So I then go through to defense arrays. I stop 1.
None. You've got 2 vulnerable.
I have 2 vulnerable, don't I? So, how much damage is left over?
That's 14.
14.
Is enough to kill it.
He has to do, because he's taken out the first layer of armor, he only needs to do, and there's -2, so that is 7 plus 4, -2 for each track. So that's 7 damage. Yep. So you've killed it twice over.
Sweet.
Great. So that is dead.
Well done, guys.
I'll have to kill them next.
So, just to finish off, they're going to fire all their boarding craft at these guys.
Okay, they get 2-point defense. Nope, sorry, 3-point defense dice. And none of them do anything.
So they have 4 pelicans full of marines on board.
This is not really going my way, is it?
Nope, no it's not.
So, the ORS is going to move. It's the last activation I've got. It's going to move the full 5 inches up. Turn a little bit, and it's going to fire everything it's got at the epoch there. Okay. So, he gets 14 dice of plasma lance, and Wayne has no brace tokens left.
Yeah.
So if I actually don't fluff my rolls on this, it might be good. So we're in short range. So firepower rating of 5. Oh, that's almost good.
Dear God.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 damage. Ouch. And I need to inflict 10. So
I got 5 dice. I need to stop 4 successes. No, I need to stop 5, don't I?
Yep.
Stop 1 down. And I stop
1.
Woo.
So, and with critical,
yep.
It's a critical.
So he gets a vulnerability and a damage.
Which will be handy for when everything else falls up. So, and it's going to fire secondary weapons, the plasma cannon arrays, long range against the epoch, and hopefully do a bit more damage. Ooh, that looks good. So that is not going to generate any rerolls. Still don't have 9 damage, which is easy enough to go through the second layer of armor. So that's another
not enough to kill it.
Do I get another critical? No, I don't.
Okay. That really hurt. Right, so just one more activation, and then it's resolve boarding. Okay, so these guys are just going to move up and turn.
Yep, there's not really any targets on this flank. It looks like the UNSC owns this, half the board at least. This little guy's hiding behind an asteroid. Oh, sorry, actually, that's a space station, so that blocks line of sight.
To that there.
Yep.
And that's them done.
Okay, so board state at the end of the element phase. The poor ORS's friends have been shot away. This formation is still intact. We lost a CCS and a Corvette squadron over there. The UNSC didn't get off lightly though. That epoch's in its last legs. This formation took some serious fire, and that formation there also took a pretty bad hammering. So there's still quite a lot to play for here. Right, so as we go into the end phase, the engineers on board the ships will try to repair the vulnerable markers. So Wayne's going to roll, and that's nothing. If he rolled a 1, that would resolve 1 marker and it'd be removed. If he rolled a 2, that would resolve 2. Maybe we'll get luckier on the frigates here.
Nope.
Nope. I think I might have killed you engineers.
Yeah.
Right. Next we've got these 2 Pelicans, which were on board the Corvettes he blew up.
Yep.
So on a 2 they survive.
1 survives.
1 survives, and they get to make a 6-inch drift move, preferably towards a ship with a hangar so they can get back on board.
Yep, so they're going to move this way to there.
Alright, and then I have got 1 zealot and 1 boarding craft. So the zealot saves on a 2 or a 1.
Yep.
So he's alright, and the boarding craft saves on a 2. So the boarding craft is dead. That's good. The zealot would be a victory point for Wayne if that died.
Then we get carrier action.
Yep, or do. So, next we do resolve the carrier action special rule. I get this on my CCS cruisers, Wayne gets this on his Epoch, and his modified Marathon for the Cyclops formation, is it?
Yep.
So, with carrier action 1, I can bring back 1 wing of flight tokens. Now, the new FAQ made it clear that this is actually a stack of tokens, not a single token, so that's quite a strong ability, and it keeps the small craft coming. So I'm going to bring back 3 bombers I lost early in the phase, and Wayne, with carrier action 3 on his heavy carrier.
Yep, I'm going to bring back a stack of 2 sabres and 1 sabre.
Okay, so I've got a lot of dogfighting to do next turn then. Finally, for the end phase, we've got boarding. So Wayne has 4 Pelicans on board my Corvettes. My Corvettes have a security detail rating of 2, so I get 2 dice. Each of Wayne's Pelicans has a security detail of 2, so he gets 8 dice. So, if you roll first, Wayne.
That's pretty bad.
1, 2, 3. Right, if I get lucky, I might beat him.
Yeah.
I got lucky. So I beat his roll. Now, if you get the reference sheet.
We each roll a d6.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay, so we each roll a d6 to make 2d6 up. So Wayne rolls 4, and I roll 1. Because Wayne lost the boarding attempt, we take -2. If Wayne had lost by double, it'd be -4. So that 5 becomes a 2 to 3. Yep. And I'll just turn that round for people who can't read upside down.
2 of my boarding craft, chosen by me, are expelled 4 inches into space.
Okay, and Wayne will have to see if he can save them.
So they're going to come over
In a
here.
moment.
So,
Do they live?
nope, they are dead.
They are dead. Get off my ship. Right, and that is the only boarding action that happened because these guys who tried it last turn ended up killed. So, we'll just resolve victory points. Right, so resolving victory points, it's still going very badly for me. I've lost a supported CCS, which is an additional 4 victory points to Wayne. However, he hasn't quite gained sector control yet. He's very strong on this flank, but I have 1 Corvette squadron holding this half of the board, which denies him it. And this side of the board, he's got the Epoch and the Marathon squadron, and I have the ORS and the CCS. So there's still plenty to play for on that side. Neither of us has killed any Spartans or Zealots, so no bonus points there. So we'll go straight into the next turn. So, Wings phase. These longswords tried to have a go at the Corvettes and did absolutely no damage. These Tarask bombers managed to take out the injured Arrowhead squadron, but these ones completely failed to damage the wounded Epoch. And these longsword bombers over here did 2 points of damage to these Corvettes. So we're moving into the element phase, and I have the initiative. So the ORS is going to activate first. It's going to move forward 5 inches. And its first target is going to be the wounded Epoch. It's going to see if it can finish it off. So we're at short range. We've got 14 dice at firepower rating 5. Do you want to brace, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm going to use both of my braces.
So minus 4 successes.
Just to see if I can save it.
Right. Oh, not so hot on the dice. So that is... Right, so there's your 4 from brace. I've done 3 damage, 4 rerolls. So if I do 1 point of damage here, it is dead.
Damn.
And I do. So, because it is a large element, it has a small chance of the core going up and exploding if I roll a critical, which I don't. So thankfully, or sadly even, it's got a Spartan on board, it doesn't blow up. You'll have to roll to see if that Spartan survives at the end of the turn, and that was your flagship.
Yep.
Next we've got the plasma cannons, which are going to target the Marathon in short range. So, 10 dice, firepower of 5. Oh, that might have done it. So that is 6 for the first layer of damage, and 3. Yep, so that is that Marathon cooked.
Okay. Okay, so these guys are going to go. They're going to move, so he's going to turn, and then move up to there, and turn. He's going to turn, move up to there, and turn. This guy's going to move up and turn. He's going to move up and turn.
Okay.
And they're going to take some really cheeky long-range shots at him.
Right.
So the 2 Marathons are in range and the front frigate. Okay, so the Mac, I'm going to fire, we'll do the 2 wounded ships first and then the healthy one. So the wounded frigate, do nothing. And then the wounded cruiser, he gets to reroll 1. So minus 2, he provides 4. And then the healthy cruiser, he provides 1. I'm going to spend both of my attack dice to reroll 4 successes. I'm actually going to reroll the 2 skulls. See, that's better. Then I'll reroll 1 with the 2. That's a bit better. So 4, 6, 8, 10.
Right, which is just enough, and that's automatic Mac, isn't it?
Nope, it's only Mach 5 because he couldn't shoot.
Ah, well that's a shame.
So, nope.
Okay, so that supported CCS will get a defense array of 5. So,
Yep.
2, 2, and then I get exploding dice. That's knocked it down enough to make it irrelevant, hasn't it?
Yep.
So, that Covenant's chip safe. Your frigates were going to fire missiles, but they'd have to fire in a forward arc, and 2 dice each, minus 2 successes from these guys. They would need 8, so it's basically a mathematical impossibility that they could actually do damage.
Yeah, so that's then done.
Alright. Right, so these corvettes, they're going to do a bit of cheeky manoeuvring around that space station. So, they managed to catch that in short range, but I think they actually have managed to catch it in the plasma torpedo from the front arc as well.
Yep.
So, that guy's going to be taking all the dice. We'll start with 3 shots of plasma cannon arrays. Nothing. So we'll go with the plasma torpedoes, which get 4 shots. Oh, that was pretty terrible. I don't even have any rerolls. Oh,
Never mind.
never mind that. He's activated.
Okay, so this battle group's going to move. They're going to move half speed on the frigates and turn.
I think they might be trying to kill the corvettes.
He's going to turn and then move. And then the cruiser's going to move up and turn.
All right.
So we're going to pummel everything into this poor corvette.
Look at his sad face. So, that squadron attacking my poor corvettes.
With all the Mac and the frigates first.
I see a few 2s here.
So they get to reroll. Yep, that was good.
I think that might be it.
And then the cruiser.
Okay, so this is at -1 firepower, so it doesn't get any rerolls. Not that it really mattered anyway.
Okay, so.
And roll for Mac.
Nope. Oh yeah, it's only Mac 5, sorry. Nope. Shame.
So how much is that total?
5, 10, 14.
Right, okay. 14, he has a total of 11. If I roll double 2s on my defense array dice, I might do this. Right, so I get 2 dice. 1, 2. Well, I saved just enough to still die in a fiery. Okay, well, there we go. Those 2 guys will hopefully die later.
Yep, but my missiles are now wasted.
Yep.
So that's them done.
Okay, so this squadron is my last to activate. They're going to do some cheeky manoeuvring to avoid crashing into that space station. So they're going to glide 5 inches like that. Ooh, well, I'll fix him later.
He crashed. He's dead.
Nah, he's fine, he's fine. He's just doing some, loop-de-loops. And that's going to fly over there and there. Right. So, plasma cannon arrays. They're going to target the distant one there. And the plasma lance is going to target the closest frigates. Wayne hasn't got any brace tokens left, so we'll start with the plasma lance. Yep, that has pretty much smashed that. No rerolls because it's elusive, but that is...
He's dead.
That's gone. And then plasma cannon arrays. These guys hit firepower 3 because they're at long range, but they ignore elusive. And the... Oops, sorry, -2 successes as well because of damage. And the big ship... Ooh, that got quite a healthy amount of dice. So that has done 12 damage. I can't reroll.
I have 2 titanium armor. So if I can roll 2 2s, I can save it. Nope. So he's dead as well.
Flat.
Okay.
That big old brick of Covenant UNSC ships is a bit less scary. Okay, so...
Alright, so this guy is going to be very brave. He's going to turn. He's going to move up 5 and turn again.
Oh, so he's exiting the debris field?
He's going to shoot this guy. So he is at long range. So he's at -1 firepower for his stealth. But he has 4 Mac dice. And he rolled abysmal.
He rolled 1 success.
So
That pretty much was exactly what I expected.
So these guys, their heroic saves. Nope.
Alright, my zealot. He's still alive, and he's going to shimmy 6 inches. Oh, actually, no, that. Pass the tape measure, please.
They could get you on here, but
Yeah, but then I'd be replacing another zealot. So he's gonna go the long road. He's gonna try and get on board that CCS.
How about this guy? He's
Oh, he makes it, so he can.
He's gonna come over to here.
Right, we've got a Spartan.
Yep.
So he saves on anything other than a skull.
Yep.
Right, so he's still good.
Just gonna go to there. These two. Nope, so his buddies die.
Yeah. Oh well, it's not that they're important anyway. And that is pretty much it for that. So we've got carrier action next.
Yep.
Wayne still has a little bit left from this squadron.
I'm going to do 2 and they're going to fly out to here.
Right, and I'm going to bring back a stack of bombers just to finish off those frigates, hopefully next turn. Right, so if I do say so, I think that round swung in my favour a bit. I lost yet another corvette, but I did manage to kill 1, 2 and 3 frigate squadrons for 1 point each, 1 supported marathon for 3 points, and an epoch for 5 points, plus 2 for it being a flagship. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 6, 13 points. Wayne gained 1 point. And on the table, Wayne managed to get rid of my corvette holding this part, so Wayne gains an extra point for sector control, whereas I didn't quite manage to get rid of those arrowheads, so I didn't manage to get sector control here either. No Spartans or Zealot died, so no one gained victory points from them. Right, so start of a new turn, a new wings phase. Wayne sent 2 flights of longsword bombers against my 2 corvettes and utterly annihilated them on some pretty nice dice, whereas I managed to get 8 bombers into this arrowhead squadron and only did 1 point of damage because I suck at rolling. So, into the element phase, and once again I have the initiative, so we'll see what happens.
Cool.
So I haven't got much left on the table after that bombing run. I'm going to move the ORS 5 inches up and then turn it 45. They're going to be getting the plasma cannon, and that's going to be getting the plasma lance outside of short range.
Okay.
So, we'll start with marathons.
He's going to brace twice.
I wonder why.
Super brace.
So, 14 dice, no rerolls.
Yeah.
So that is
Like wasted them braces.
9. So -4, that's 5. I'm going to spend 2 focus attack to reroll 4. Okay. So that is
8.
6, 8. You get titanium armor and you have to say 3 because it's an unsupported, so it's only got 6.
Okay, so I save 1.
Alright, so that's still enough to go through. Critical. It doesn't critical. That's still a little bit of damage.
Okay.
Right. And then
And these poor frigates.
which are going to take 10 dice of plasma cannon raise. So these are at short range. So they do get rerolls. Oh wait, no, you're elusive, so they don't reroll everything. Just...
But that 6 right there is enough.
I just wanted to be sure.
So, yeah. Goodbye, cheeky frigates. Okay.
Right.
So, these guys are going to go. He's going to move up. And then turn. And this guy's going to turn. To out there. And he's going to move up 4 because he's going through the asteroid field. And then they're going to take a nice cheeky shot at that guy. So one is going through that asteroid by the looks of it.
Alright.
And one's not. They've done what I want.
Right.
Okay, so Mac guns into him. So the one shooting who's just clipping the asteroid field. So he's -2 firepower. So everything counts as ones. 4 -1. I'm gonna use a firepower to reroll 2. That's good there. Okay, and then the one with the clean shot. He's going to use the firepower to reroll 2. That's better.
So that is...
9.
Okay.
No, -2, sorry. 7.
That's not enough.
Nope.
Well, that was the last Hail Mary. They were going to try a missile barrage as well, but they're going to have to target the closest thing, which is the ORS, and that's hiding neatly behind the asteroid and the space station.
Yep.
So, end of that activation.
Okay.
Okay, so my last activation, my last ship actually, CCS is going to scoot using the glide action 4 inches. It's going to do some short range plasma lancing against this guy. And this guy's going to get the plasma, not plasma torpedoes, the plasma cannons.
Okay.
So, 12 dice of plasma lance. Have you got any brace tokens left?
Nope.
Nope. So, against the less wounded frigate, who's at the back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with rerolls. 7 damage, which is enough to go through a layer of armour but not kill it.
Okay.
Does it crit? Nope. So that one's on its last legs. And the 10 dice of plasma cannon rays. That's not this. 10. Yep. He's going against this guy. Yep. They're at long range, so they don't get rerolls. But that has killed him several times over.
Yep.
So, boom. And that is the end of that CCS activation.
Okay. Okay, so these guys are going to move up. So these guys are actually going to go 10. To there. He's going to turn a bit, move 10. He's going to turn and move 8. To there. And they're going to fire everything they've got at the big ship.
Alright. It's pretty formidable, so it should have good odds. So, there.
Okay, so they're on firepower 3 because they're at long range because he's got stealth systems. That's a lot of 2s.
Still pretty strong dice.
Okay, that is 16.
Right, and they're undamaged, so there's no dice taken from the pool there.
Yep, and I've got no command dice to affect this.
You've got Mac dice. Because they're a Mac rating of 5, it goes off on a 2 or a skull.
Nope.
So, nope. 16. Right, well, my ORS gets... Oh, no, that's the unsupported one. It gets 4 dice of defense arrays.
Okay.
So, that is 4, which
is still 12.
12, right, so I get 2 rerolls. And I don't do it, so he takes a point of damage, and does he take a critical from damage?
Yes.
Yes, he does. Ooh, that's pretty nasty.
That's very good for me.
Right. So, next they'll be following up with missiles and hoping to get lucky. Right, so all firing is 1 again.
So these get rerolls because they're 4.
The long range bonus from missiles counteracts the ORS's cloaking systems.
So, that's not too bad. So I get 3 rerolls. Not skulls though. I get another reroll. And another reroll. Okay, so that is 14.
Right, I do get point defense against this as well.
Yep.
Which
That
is...
could actually kill you.
Maybe. So 5 dice, -1 success, so that takes down 2.
Still 12.
And then 4 dice with point defense arrays, 12.
Okay, so
We're at...
9 and 4.
So we've just saved the ship, but he's taken on a point of damage. And does it inflict another critical?
Nope.
Nope. But we're very close to dying.
But that was very good. That bonus might
Oh,
kill you.
that was a pretty good counterattack. Right, so end phase after we've done all the ship movement and shooting. I'm going to try and repair that vulnerable. I do. So it's got a bit of a fighting chance to keep going. On top of that, I'm also going to try and bring back my bombers via counter action with CCS. They're going to spawn there for 8 inches.
Yep.
And Wayne's going to bring
2 sabers.
2 sabers back. And then we see if our guys floating adrift survive. So the Spartan. This guy's he's worth 4 victory points and could swing this game.
Nope.
But he's still alive. My Zealot here, he's going to try and Survive. Oh no, he dies just as he was about to reboard that ship. Typical. So he's worth a victory point. And then we've got a squad of Marines in the Pelican there.
Nope.
They're dead as well. So there's a pretty even turn this round. I managed to kill 3 points worth of ships. Wayne managed to kill 2 points worth of ships, but my Zealot also died, which is another victory point. On top of that, we're looking at 19 to 14, was it?
Yep.
Yep, because I've managed to kill Wayne's flagship, which is also carry rating, build rating 5, and you get additional victory points for each entire squadron you've killed, which includes these ones as well.
Yep.
And Wayne has only managed to kill 1 entire squadron, because my ORS is just about hanging in there. And if he dies, he will basically swing the game towards Wayne. We've also got the CCS there, staying alive. And they've both managed to hold this area for sector control. Whereas Wayne has managed to hold this half of the map for sector control. So we've both walked away with 4 victory points this turn.
Okay, so we've got quite an important couple of moments here. We've got this bombing run and this bombing run.
Given that both these ships could very well swing the game, and there's just enough, but not quite as many to be comfortable with killing the ships, we're going to see if the bomber here can actually kill this marathon and possibly win the victory. But he won't, because look at it. So Wayne, you've got two longsword squadrons coming in against my ORS.
So I need 5 successes that he doesn't block on 4 dice. So I've got 3 and a reroll.
Alright.
Reroll the skull.
4.
Not
I think if we hadn't done this on camera and hyped it up, it would have been just everything would be dead.
Yeah.
Like the last wings phase. But oh well.
Yeah, last wings phase, my 4 bombers just annihilated this Corvette squad off camera. Right?
Now they think we're lying.
I know, right?
Okay, so the ORS is going to move up before it gets killed. So 3 inches up, half movement, and then we're going to turn 45. He's going to have a go at a long range shot against that cruiser, and then his plasma cannon is going to target this trident formation of frigates here.
Okay.
So, just get 14 dice together. Do you want to brace your cruiser?
Yeah, I'm going to brace it 3 times.
3 times. That's just ridiculous. Right, so 14 dice minus 6 successes.
Ooh, nice. A lot of 2s.
That would have been great if you hadn't braced it so much. I don't think I have any rerolls. So that is 12 successes minus 6. And you've got a first armor track of 7, so I can't actually hurt you with that. And I have no rerolls.
Well, that's good.
Plasma cannons.
Well, actually, you would have been minus 2 as well because you're damaged.
Oh, and I'm damaged. Yep, so that definitely just wouldn't have happened. Now, 10 dice of plasma cannon raise. So that's 5, 9, 10. They're targeting these guys. So we're looking at -1 for elusive, -1 for long range.
Yep.
So everything counts as 1s. So all these tasty 2s don't actually mean anything.
And you're minus 2
Yeah.
with no rerolls, so that does nothing as well.
Well, that was disappointing. That was very disappointing.
Yep. So I'm going to activate this squad. These guys are just going to move, turn. He's going to turn, move, and turn.
Just punch your other frigate squadron.
Yep. He's going to move. Actually, he's going to turn, move, 10, and turn. And he's going to hard burn it right up to there. So we're going to missile him, and then we're going to Mac the CCS.
Alright.
Okay, so missiles first into the ORS, the big guy. So that's not bad. That's 10 with a reroll. I'm gonna spend an attack to reroll 2 to get another one. I then have a reroll off the 2 to get another one. So that brings it to 14. No? 12.
Yep,
Sorry,
12.
Maths.
So, only 5 successes. So the ORS is going to have to pull some amazing point defense work. So, 5 dice of point defense, no vulnerable markers. So what I roll is what I roll. So
5.
that's 5 down.
You got your defense raise.
4 dice of that.
Can you stop to 3? Yep.
Oh, yeah, so that's 6 off. So the ORS lives.
So the frigates into the CCS. Whoops. Okay, so I get 2 rerolls. So that's pretty good. And then the cruiser, who's at -2 firepower.
Because he's firing through that asteroid field we measured it, he's literally...
Literally clipping the edge of it.
That still counts.
Everything's lines. I'm gonna spend my firepower token to reroll. So
That's pretty brutal. So those 2s count as 1s.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15.
Okay, so, and roll for Mac effect.
So, nope.
Nope. So 15, unmodified, that's enough to go through the first 2 layers of defences. But he does get 5 defense array dice,
Nice.
which he rolls 4, 5, 7 successes.
So that's still 8. So
That's
it's
still 1 layer of armour.
damage.
Does he critical?
Nope.
He does not. So, ooh, that was really nicely rolled there. So, right, so the CCS, having just survived all that, is going to scoot 4 inches to the left again, and he's going to have a go at finishing off that marathon, which I'm just literally going to throw everything he's got on. So, 12 dice of short-range plasma lance. Wayne's got no brace tokens left, so
That's enough.
No, I want to keep rerolling dice. That has killed him 3, 6, 9. That has killed him 3 times over.
Yep. And with that, I think we should just call it there.
Yep. Plasma cannon rays are wasted because the shot's already gone off and the cruiser's dead.
Yep. So that puts Jmac over the victory total points, and I'm just shy. So there he is. All that's left is a handshake and good game.
Tidy up the game, Kyle.
Yeah. So I was still pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that, there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 plus 9 for the squadron bonus. So there's 11, 12 there. 5, 7 for flagship, 8 plus another 1 for the squadron. So that's, yeah, okay. The problem with UNSC is they tend to have a lot more build rating on the table.
Yeah.
So,
It does, and because they're a lot more fragile, it seems like it's a very big
this
disadvantage.
This squadron as well. So there's 4, 6 plus 1 for the squadron bonus. That's on 7 there alone.
Yeah.
Which, if Wayne had managed to kill my ORS, that would have definitely evened the odds.
Yes, which would have then come down to who had the most points at the end of that. So that's still good. We are planning to do a few more Halo ones in the next couple of weeks.
This is a start box game. We'll start exploring the formations.
Yes, we both got a core box, so we're going to bring some paired cruisers and shenanigans like that, I think. So.
I'm looking at the shield wall.
But yeah, we're really enjoying this. It's a very simple system.
Considering there's only 3 models, there's a lot of variance. 3 models
Yeah.
per side.
And how you build your battle groups really matters. Like for UNSC, you want to get the Mac rating. You just have to get it to rival that Covenant. They're so hardy.
The Mac guns are designed to weaken the Covenant shields and armor, so they really need to lead with the Macs, weaken them, and then just consistently pound target after target and just focus down there.
Yeah, I think if I hadn't have deployed my Cyclops so far on the other side, I think they could have helped a bit more. But
yeah,
that was very enjoyable, and yeah, we'll be back in the next video.